Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to discuss the summary of The Happy Prince, Chapter 5 of Class 9th English. The author is Oscar Wilde. Let's know some facts about the author. Oscar Wilde was an Irish playwright, novelist, essayist and poet. After writing in different forms throughout the 1880s, he became one of the London's most popular playwrights in early 1890s. Now, The Happy Prince is a story about a beautifully decorated statue of a prince who lived a very happy life. Once in a town, there lived a prince. He was called the Happy Prince because he had been happy all his life. After his death, his statue was erected on a tall pedestal in the middle of the town. The statue was covered with gold and had two precious sapphire stones embedded in his eyes. A ruby stone had been fitted into the handle of his sword. From there, he could see all around the place and realized that the people lived in a lot of poverty and misery. This sight saddened the prince, and being helpless, he would weep to see the plight of the people. One day, a swallow bird was flying through the city on its way to Egypt to meet its friends. On the way, it took shelter for night at the feet of the statue of the Happy Prince. The bird realized that the statue was weeping and upon inquiry realized the plight of the prince. The helpless prince requested the bird to help it by becoming its messenger. After initial refusal, the bird agreed and took the ruby stone out of the sword hilt and delivered it to a poor seamstress. Next morning, as he went to bid goodbye, the statue convinced him to stay back for one more day. That day, the bird was asked to remove the sapphire stones from one of the statue's eyes and deliver it to a young playwright. Also, on the third day, the bird had to pull out the second sapphire stone for a poor match girl. By this time, the weather had become cold and the bird had developed an attachment with the statue. The bird did not want to leave the statue but had now become blind. The Happy Prince asked the bird to go around the city and inform him the condition of the people living there. The bird told him that the rich were making merry while the poor lived in misery. As the prince did not have any more precious stones, he ordered the bird to remove the gold foils from his body and distribute among the living who needed money for survival. Gradually, the statue of the prince lost its covering of gold and became dull and grey. On the other hand, the poor became joyous and as they got bread to eat. The swallow bird was now unable to withstand the cold weather and realized that the death was approaching. It informed the statue that it had to leave, and the statue, who loved the bird, asked it to kiss him. As the bird died and fell at the statue's feet, a strange sound came out of the statue, the sound of the breaking of its heart. Although the statue's heart was made of lead, it broke as it was overwhelmed with the affection towards the bird. When the statue was melted in the furnace, the heart did not melt and was thrown in the garbage. It landed near Swallow's body. God's angels took both the dead and the swallow and the broken heart to him as they were the most precious things on the land. Now let's talk about the title of the story. The title of the story, The Happy Prince, presents its elements in symbolic manner. The story is about a prince who used to be happy when he was alive. However, he is very sad after he is placed atop a column as a statue. The prince appeared to be happy only because he knew nothing of his life outside of his palace. Only after he died and became a statue did he learn of the people's sufferings and disparity between the rich and the poor. He now sought happiness by sacrificing himself for the happiness of others. The title thus aptly suggests that the outward happiness of the prince is symbolic of the superficial joys in life. The real happiness lies in having a compassionate heart. Now, the story is based on the theme that love and sacrifice are important values in human life, and happiness comes to those who make others happy. Those who have compassion and concern get as much as joy as those who receive their kindness and charity. Hence, one must live a life guided by the virtues of love, sacrifice, benevolence, and joy. Message. Last but not the least, the message of the story. The story gives many important messages, and these messages, themes, everything is very much important from your exam point of view. So focus. The first message is that we must spread happiness around us if we wish to be happy. It is useless to mount statues with gold and jewels when the people are hungry. The next message is that disparity and sorrow in society can be overcome by passion, generosity, and sharing. The generous prince and the gentle swallow sacrificed themselves to bring happiness to the poor and the needy. However, their death did not end their lives. The redemptive power of love had made them live forever as the precious and chosen ones of the God. So that's it for today's video, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.